if you throw enough at the wall, something has got to stick. So this is one of the sayings that James, one of the co-founders at Body Smart, used to say to me time and time again when we were in our darkest moments and our darkest days, and we quite frankly wanted to throw in a towel. And this didn't just happen once, this happened numerous times while going through the journey of setting up Body Smart, but we didn't quit. So let me tell you the story of how we set up Body Smart Fitness. So I am one of four. I have three younger sisters. So I was surrounded in a house by women from a young age. To be honest, that definitely made me see a lot more in terms of like how women talk to each other, how women interact. So it's definitely hard to see how critical they were around their own body images. But if I was to be honest, I was as well. And I started going to the gym at about 15 years old. And there was numerous reasons that I wanted to start doing this. I think there was probably a level of vanity. I wanted to look better, have a six-pack. And there was probably a huge level of insecurity there. Like I was bullied in primary school. I got expelled from senior school. And my childhood wasn't... I struggled basically growing up. I felt like I was the misfit. I didn't fit in as well as I wanted to. I really struggled with education. And I didn't know until I reached year 6 that I was actually dyslexic. They sent me for a test. And to be honest, it was a positive experience. I went there. They had like a poster on the wall of all these celebrities and all these famous people, and Albert Einstein. These were all people who were dyslexic, so it didn't feel as necessarily like a bad thing. I actually realized that my brain was a sponge and I can learn anything. Anything is figure outable, and it took me quite a long time to get to that point and realizing that I actually I'm better to learn things through video or through audio or through repetition, which is maybe not the traditional ways in terms of school teaches you. So because of my dyslexia and how much I'd struggled with academia when it comes to school, I never really seen myself having an academic based job. I never seen myself maybe going to college or university because I felt like I need to physically work. So and then at that point in my life I decided I wanted to join the Marines because the Marines were the best of the best of the best, and they were seen as the squadron that was just the best in the army, and I wanted some of that. So I wanted to join. I went through all the health tests, the eye tests, the physical tests, got myself super fit, watched all the videos about the Marines, every week of training right the way through for the 32 weeks. And I was hooked. I was obsessed. I wanted to be a Marine. But I used to be asthmatic when I was a child and used to suffer quite badly with my chest. Now, when I was 16, I went on an exchange trip from to America, to North Carolina. And it was an amazing trip. So my mum, being a mum before I went, away when I was 16, because I was going for 2 to 3 weeks, she was like, we'll get you an inhaler just in case you need one, because you're on the other side of the world. So it got me an inhaler, didn't think much about it. But when it comes to the Marines or, any part of the military, you cannot have an inhaler on your record within the last 4 years. If you do, it's a straight sign off. And to be honest, at that point, I was devastated. That is what I'd like tunnel vision focused on for the past sort of 6 months. And then at that point, sort of dreams were shattered, and there was nothing I could do but wait. So I took my frustration out, as I always do, with exercise and in the gym. And then I had the choice to make, what am I gonna do now? There was no way my parents were gonna let me stay in the house and not work. They would be like, get out, we're not even gonna turn the heating on for you, you've gotta go and find a job. So I had this choice, do I go back or become an electrician or a labourer of some sort, or do I go and try something else? And luckily I chose something else, which was fitness. So I was really interested, I love fitness, and I was like, there's no way people get paid to do this stuff. It seemed like a bit of a utopia to me. I found out about it and I applied, and then done my diploma in personal training and all the other qualifications and certifications that you have to do with that. But then I qualified at 19. I'd been doing some classes and boot camps before that, but I just felt like I was too young. I just wasn't going to be taken seriously enough in the fitness space and as a personal trainer. So at that point, I decided to park personal training for about the next 2 years. At that point, I was clean shaven. I had a nice baby face. But when I come back to personal training when I was 21, I had a beard, as you see now. And I thought, maybe people will think I'm a little bit older, take me a little bit more seriously, and I'll be able to get right back into that space. As my confidence grew, I inevitably wanted to get more clients. So I ran a 12-week competition in the gym, and the person who actually won this competition years later ended up being my girlfriend, or becoming my girlfriend, Steph. Now, Steph actually, while going through this 12 weeks, started training with a lady called Gemma. Now, Gemma worked in the PR world, the social media world, the marketing world, and actually was able to help me quite a lot moving forward. So after Steph getting to her 12-week transformation and working alongside Gemma, we actually posted her transformation photos on Facebook, and within a week, I was at my client cap and had a waiting list as long as my arm for the rest of the year, which was absolutely amazing. But one thing I did see from this was, at that point, about 95% of my clients were women. Somebody else like me in the gym was James. He was actually one of the directors of the company that I worked for in the gym. Now, normally in a gym environment or personal training environment, it can get very dog eat dog. There's only a set amount of members and clients, and you are competing next to the person next to you. Now, even though, we were supposed to be part of a team, it didn't always feel like that, and it doesn't. I'm sure a lot of personal trainers will relate. But James, however, very much did take me under his wing and mentored me the best he could to become a great personal trainer and to offer an amazing service. So one thing that James and I did, which was, we seemed very different to other trainers in the gym, was we had a lot of communication, gave a lot of support to our clients outside the gym, because we knew that 1 hour in the gym wasn't going to dictate what happened to the other 23 hours of the day, or even for the rest of the week. So we used to speak to our clients over WhatsApp. We would be giving them nutritional protocols, whether it was calories or macros. We would be speaking to them about certain parts of their menstrual cycle and understanding their weight and bodies better. And we really tried to deliver a different service, one that just wasn't solely based for that, 1 or 2 hours a week where we would see them in the gym. So at this point, myself and James, we are completely maxed out with clients. There's only so many hours that you can do in a week. And even a 40, 50 hour week in personal training feels like a hell of a lot more, because you're getting up at 5, you're doing 6 till 11, and then you're having a break sometimes in the middle of the day and back in the evening. It's exhausting and it's very, very hard, but we had this huge demand and we wanted to help and serve more people. So, it is 2015, the internet was a thing, and we thought, hey, should we give this online space a crack? What we really wanted to create is something that was able to give people results inside and outside the gym, but most importantly, help real women get real results. So the first name we actually come up with for this company was Body Smart. But as always, we got the giant pieces of paper out and we wrote maybe like 100 different names on there and spent like 2 weeks mulling over this paper, and eventually just come back around and decided Body Smart was the best name. So that's what we went with, and Body Smart was created. We then, drew our first business plan on a whiteboard about this size in James's apartment and on his kitchen table. And, we also then wanted to create like a brand hashtag. And this is where the hashtag Cut the BS, was created. And this wasn't just to cut the BS with all the unethical fads and just the bullshit that's out there in the fitness industry. This was also to help people cut the bullshit with themselves, that inner bitch, I like to call it, that you've got in your head telling you not to do something. It was to cut the BS with yourself, to get out your own way and get the results that you deserve. And the reality is, it is harder for women to lose weight, and that isn't just physiologically, that is psychologically as well. And there'll be a video coming up on this in the future, but women are massively underserved in lots of different parts of their health, and that is something that we wanted to help with. And this is also where our facts, not fads approach was born. And so we went on to start our entrepreneurial journey. Entrepreneurial journey. Should just leave that in, shouldn't you? So there we go, we start our entrepreneurial journey, got it that time. So we didn't have any rich parents bankrolling us, and we didn't have any investors into the company. I mean, back then, online coaching just wasn't really a thing. What we did have is we had a crazy good work ethic. We had some money put to one side from personal training. We had credit cards and we got out personal loans, because at the time we wanted to create an amazing app. We wanted to create an app, and that ended up costing us big. We not only tried to create one app with a company, which failed and left us about 14 grand in the tank. We then went to a much bigger company. They'd worked with big names in other industries. This was meant to be built over the next 3 months. And then 1 year later, the app was still not built. We were 70K in the hole just on this one app, including the 14K on top from the previous app. And at this time, we'd still been trying to grow Body Smart. We had actually launched the coaching at that point, and we're coaching people, but we still had this app that we were trying to build and develop. And we got to a point and we got given an ultimatum off this company, which was either, we either cut our losses and they put it on a pen drive and walk away, or we keep working and developing with them to make the app the best it can be. So we made the choice at that point to take the app on a pen drive. So we had nearly £70,000 worth of data and a year of blood, sweat and tears on this pen drive, and we walked out. And I remember it as clear as yesterday when I met our girlfriends, cracked open a bottle of wine, and I think if we weren't laughing, we probably would have cried. But it was a momentous thing for us to do, and it was the right thing to do because we'd realized that we weren't trying to create the best app in the world. We were trying to be the best coaches in the world, and that didn't mean sinking all this time, money, energy, and effort into an app when we wanted to be great coaches. So over the next 5 years were some of the toughest times of my life, in the sense of, we were still personal training, we were still doing just as many hours, but then we're putting all this other extra energy and effort into growing Body Smart. The thing was, I was 24, 25, 26, and I made pretty good money for my age, but I had no money. I had a couple of £100 at any one point in my bank account. I had maxed out credit cards, I had a high personal loan, and I had nothing really to show for it. I was trying to get this company off the floor, and it was the same for James. And this went on for, a very long time. I don't think we actually took any money personally back out of the business. I think it had been established for 3.5 years at that point. So that is literally not even just working for free for 3.5 years. It was literally putting money into the company and working for free for 3.5 years, just with the hope and desire to make something work. I'd obviously taken this huge ambitious leap of starting a company, but there was an incredible amount of self-doubt and anxiety and imposter syndrome that kicked in all the time. I was somebody that, was dyslexic, struggled with academia in school, got kicked out of school, had no GCSEs, didn't get in the Marines, had gone through numerous jobs and failed at numerous things. And then here I am, taking a punt at, moving a business online in an industry where you're competing against so many people. There was a lot of self-doubt and there was a lot of really difficult conversations. I've been in tears at some point where, I've got all this debt. I'm working every hour under the sun. I'm not a normal, 24, 25-year-old. I am just working all the time and I have nothing to show for it. And when you're having those really difficult conversations, I'm asking myself, am I intelligent enough? Am I good enough? Am I setting the bar too high, and am I crippling myself with the fact that I want to be more than I am, but maybe I'm not capable enough of getting there? Maybe I need to just accept that the bar is lower for who I am. And they're really difficult conversations to have with yourself because there's no one else there. You're talking to yourself and you're almost getting to a point where you have to accept that maybe you're not good enough. And I actually did get to a point where I set numerous sort of milestones. Hey, if we're by this date and we've not hit, this amount of clients or this turnover, or it's just not working, like, we're going to fold the company, we're going to turn it in. And I set several of these milestones in my head, and I'd spoke to James about them in depth. But we didn't end up getting there. I think we got to there and maybe a bit of momentum kept up, or as James kept saying, we just kept throwing more and more shit at the wall and stuff did stick and we were able to start building some momentum. But there was a lot of doubt and there was a lot of dark days in going through that process. But still, looking back, that adversity and that self-criticalness is really what's allowed me to become the person I am today. So we knew we always had to speculate to accumulate, and as soon as we were making enough money to hire someone, and this is before we were taking a wage ourselves, we did. So we hired Simon, and Simon was there to not only just help us make amazing social media content. I'm sure you guys have seen the infographics on social media and everything else that goes there to help with the website and just really to help get the business, off the ground. So with Simon's amazing infographics and social media content, we started getting more attention on social media. We started helping more people just with the value we were given on our content, but we also started to get more inquiries and more clients signing up, which was absolutely amazing. And on this journey, on this path, we continued our personal development with our education around fitness, nutrition. We also realized that we needed to delve more into different parts of how we were going to create great results for clients. And that really meant diving into the psychology of people, habit building, behavior changes, and how we create a true transformation and a transformation that lasts for our clients. In 2018, we expanded our team and hired our first ever coach, which was Stacey. Now, Stacey was actually based in Brunei at the time. I remember going through the hiring process, and we had, Zoom interviews, which probably seems very normal in 2022. But at the time, I remember my parents going to me, "You're hiring somebody over the internet on a video?" They're just like, "You haven't met the person." They just literally could not comprehend that this had happened. And I was like, yeah, she's amazing. She's super intelligent. She's multi-skilled, and she's going to be an absolutely amazing asset to the company. And she was, she came in, she's seen gaps in our coaching. She helped me and Jim personally develop even more and really just take the coaching to that next level. So with Stacey on board, we now had the capacity for more clients to sign up, and more clients did sign up, and we were achieving more results for real women, and everything started to grow. Instagram started to grow, we had more followers, Facebook was growing, our client pool was growing, and we just kept putting out more great stuff. And actually, we used to get quite a bit of backlash and hate for giving away, just too much on social media. This was from business coaches that we had. They went, "Why is anyone going to sign up if you're giving away all your secrets and best advice online?" We had other coaches message us saying, "Stop putting that content out for free." But that was never what we were about. We wanted to give people the tools, the skills, the education that they could go and do this successfully for the rest of their lives on their own. And one of the reasons we were so confident with putting out all this great information online is that we actually realized that the information alone, even if it is the right information, is not what will determine success. And that's why we believe in bespoke and tailored one-to-one coaching. That has always been so critically important, because we're all different. We all live unique lives. We all have different wants, needs, and responsibilities. And having that coach there for you is able to meet you where you're at and help you take the steps that you need to, and help you develop the skills, the tools, and give you the information and the right information at the right time to help you keep moving the needle. So you realize as you start anything, the more you know, you realize the more you don't know. And we wanted to be a company that was able to serve and help these ladies to the best of our ability. And health is multifaceted and is very, very complex. And we realized that even if we studied every single day till the day we die, we still wouldn't know it all. So we wanted to expand the team and hire other experts that could come in and really help all of these ladies and all of these women get the best results possible. Now, one of the things, we use Slack internally to communicate, and one of the things that James has on his description on Slack is that I'm here to serve the team. And this is something that me and James always say to the team, is that we work for you, you don't work for us. That is the culture that we want to cement at Body Smart, because it is a team effort. Every single person, and like I said, every single player, plays a key role in making the business what it is today. So I feel like a teacher with a register, but here we go. So Marley came first, then Kelly, Brooke, then Ronan, Shayna, Terry, Heather, Shay, Gav, Alex, Christina, Eric, Luke, and then James. And that was on our coaching team. Then we had Nat, who's our client care hero, who helps the coaches and clients be blown away by the 5-star service we want to offer. And then we got so busy on Instagram, replying to all the direct messages that we got that we wanted to hire and needed to hire an outreach team. So first came along Livy, then Kelsey, then Chandler, and then Jesse joined the Body Smart family. So then Marley moved from the coaching team to the Breakthrough crew, and she was met with Erin and Lee, and they really help people take that first step. You know, they've filled in that application and then they get on a breakthrough call with one of these three people, and it really helps cement and let them know that this isn't going to be another miserable fad. This is going to be something that's sustainable and that is going to work for the rest of their lives. So we've become well known for the content that we put out. It is evidence-based. We focus on the science and psychology of getting people real results. We focus on those facts, not fads. And we've got our amazing content team, which Simon is still here. Then Megan has come along, and then Sam, and then remember Gemma, my personal training client. Well, now she's here too, heading up the content team. So Gemma also hosts the Body Smart podcast with me, and if you've not seen this, do go and check this out. The thing I do love about Gemma is that she's able to, I'm always trying to, I know what I want to articulate and say, but I just struggle with my dyslexia and with my brain just to get that down on paper. And I'm able to just honestly brain dump and verbally dump what I want to say to Gemma. And then she's able to deliver and write that in a way that makes sense and resonates with the audience, and that they're able to read that and consume that with that passion that we put out there. So at the start of 2021, I wrote down some business goals, which was start a podcast channel, start a YouTube channel, expand the team, and book a team holiday or vacation for you guys in America. And they were amazing, business goals that we wanted to go for. But then I had to look at, maybe some personal goals, because this is something I've always done, every new year. And honestly, prior to this, for some reason, I just had this belief that I would just get to a certain point in business and it would just end. And I think that's because it just honestly felt so hard. Like, you literally are just getting punched in the face all the time. There's so many losses happening all the time, and it felt so difficult. And I thought, surely this has to end at some point. It can't just keep being like this, because it quite frankly felt relentless. But honestly, it's not necessarily that those punches don't keep coming. They do. You just are better equipped to deal with them. And through going through that adversity and taking those punches and those losses, it allows you to build the character traits and the skill sets to be able to deal with them. And the only goal I ended up writing down for 2021 was to enjoy the process, instead of focusing on that end goal that they're trying to achieve. Focus on what you've got to do today and being present today and enjoying the process of getting there, because if you can fall in love with the process, the destination is inevitable. Yeah, the last 6 years have been the hardest thing I've ever done, by a mile. My mum always wanted me to have a plan B. Well, you can just fall back and go back to personal training if this doesn't work. But I never liked having a plan B, because it detracted from plan A. And plan A was make Body Smart work at all costs. And that was the mindset that we have. So we kept going. We kept posting more content. We kept getting clients more results. We kept furthering our own education and personal development. We kept trying. We kept doing as much as we possibly could. And we kept getting 1% better, every day, just through consistently showing up and looking at ways that we could have that growth mindset. And the ironic thing of all of this journey is that these are the things that we actually teach our clients, to have a growth mindset, to get 1% better with all those parts of their health, fitness, and nutrition. So at the moment, we've got just over 800,000 followers on Instagram, and we get messages every single day saying that people have been able to get incredible results and change their lives just off following our content. We've also got the Body Smart podcast, which, we're going to be putting out even more episodes moving forward, which is really exciting. We've had some great reviews and feedback on there. We've also got YouTube, which I'm sure you're probably watching this on. We're really enjoying the process with YouTube and getting better at making videos and putting out more great content out there. So we currently work at a really cool offices here in Liverpool city centre, but we have got some, really big ambitions moving forward. And I kind of want to just say this to see if it does happen and be able to look back on it. So at the moment, we're in an office that's about 300 to 400 square foot. We're actually looking to purchase a building anywhere between 7,500 and 10,000 square foot. And we want to make this into Body Smart HQ, Body Smart headquarters. And we want to turn this into a media hub, into studios where we can do everything under one roof. And that's going to include making more social media channels, more YouTube channels. In this building, you know, we want to have a gym, we want to have a kitchen, a podcast studio, because we are on a mission to help 1 million people all around the world cut the BS and be body smart. But trust me, this is just the beginning.